Mark Zuckerberg's rebrand of Facebook to Meta was a bold move, signaling a shift toward the metaverse and a new chapter for the tech giant. However, this rebrand should not distract from the deeper ongoing issues surrounding the company. While the new identity may promise innovation and a futuristic vision, it doesn't address the serious concerns about privacy violations, misinformation, and the broader societal impact of its platforms. The rebranding is a way to move attention away from these problems, but we must stay focused on holding the company accountable for its past and present actions. Number 6. It's a distraction from existing issues. Facebook's reputation has been badly harmed by a number of ongoing problems, which coincide with the rebranding to Meta. Among these are well-publicized privacy violations, its part in aiding the dissemination of false information, and its inadequate response to hate speech on its platform. In light of this, the name change can be seen as a calculated attempt to deflect attention away from these urgent problems rather than a sincere attempt to address them. Meta may be hoping to divert attention from its problematic past and indicate a new course by refocusing the company on the metaverse. But this does not address the fundamental issues. The company's data policies continue to be closely scrutinized, with detractors charging it with profitably exploiting personal data without adequate protections for customer privacy. Since Meta has been criticized for being opaque about how its algorithms operate and how it modifies information, transparency is still a major problem. Furthermore, because its platforms have been connected to political polarization, disinformation campaigns, and the dissemination of dangerous health misinformation, particularly during crucial events like elections and the COVID-19 pandemic, Meta continues to struggle with its significant impact on democracy and public health. Without tackling these core problems, the rebrand runs the danger of coming across as a flimsy attempt to change the topic rather than tackling the more serious problems the business is facing. Number 5. Meta's core business remains strong for now. The corporation is still heavily dependent on its key social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, for the majority of its revenue, which still mostly comes from advertising even after the rebranding and Meta's foray into the metaverse. Because of its strong emphasis on using personal data for profit, this business model has been the focus of constant criticism. In order to produce highly targeted advertisements, Meta gathers a great deal of data about user behavior, preferences, interactions, and even location. Concerns regarding privacy, security, and the moral ramifications of such widespread monitoring have been brought up by this data-driven advertising approach. These core problems still exist even though the company's transition to the metaverse and rebranding to Meta may offer a bright new future. With a new name or virtual location, the fundamental issue, how Meta makes money off of user data, won't go away. Indeed, these problems might be made worse by the metaverse, which would open up even more avenues for surveillance and data collecting. The branding may be an attempt to divert attention away from these persistent issues, but Meta's reputation and business methods are unlikely to alter unless the fundamental privacy concerns are resolved. Number 4. It's about control and power. Zuckerberg's foray into the metaverse is a calculated attempt to keep control of the next stage of the internet, not just to establish a new social arena. With significant investments in augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, technology, Meta hopes to become a major player in this new digital landscape. The metaverse is a persistent, more immersive virtual environment that will allow users to socialize, collaborate, and engage in ways that are not possible with existing social media platforms. With this change, Meta may be able to gather even more detailed information on the preferences, actions, and activities of people than it now does on Facebook or Instagram. Using sophisticated sensors and VR/AR devices, Meta could track users' movements, interactions, and even emotional reactions in real time within the metaverse, in addition to what they like or share. Advertisers may be able to reach consumers with hyper-personalized ads based on real-time behavioral patterns, thanks to this degree of thorough data collection, which might provide them hitherto unheard-of targeting powers. Consequently, the metaverse may expand Meta's authority over users' online life, giving it more sway over its audience and advertisers. This raises significant concerns regarding privacy, user autonomy, and the moral ramifications of such extensive surveillance in virtual environments, making the metaverse more than just a technological advancement, but also a new frontier for data dominion. Number 3. The metaverse is still uncertain. Although Zuckerberg has a big vision for the metaverse, the infrastructure, technology, and social preparedness needed to make it a reality are still in their infancy. Although augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR technology have advanced significantly, Meta has not yet demonstrated that it can produce a widely usable and genuinely immersive metaverse experience that appeals to regular users. The general public has yet to embrace the current VR technology, such as Meta's Oculus headsets, and the available apps and content are sometimes narrowly focused or unappealing. Furthermore, there is no guarantee that the metaverse will be accepted by society, especially when it comes to its potential for employment, social interaction, and amusement. Meta's foray into the metaverse runs the risk of seeming more like a marketing gimmick intended to reassure investors and the general public that the company is still innovative until it can get over these technological and cultural obstacles. This emphasis on the future could divert attention from Meta's fundamental business stagnation, especially as its traditional social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, face growing obstacles like slow user growth, regulatory scrutiny, and a lack of confidence. The rebranding to Meta might be seen as an effort to divert attention from the company's present problems rather than a revolutionary step forward until the metaverse becomes a real and widely accepted experience. Number 2. Lack of accountability. It's possible that Mark Zuckerberg changed the name of his firm from Facebook to Meta in an attempt to disassociate himself and his business from the growing scandals and unfavorable opinions around the Facebook moniker. The underlying, more pressing problems that have surfaced over time, such the negative social impacts of Facebook and its related platforms, are not much addressed by this rebranding. Among these problems is the detrimental effect on mental health, especially for teens, whose use of social media has been linked to higher levels of anxiety and sadness. Furthermore, Facebook has been a key platform for the dissemination of false information, which has exacerbated political division, mistrust, and confusion among the populace, especially during important events like elections and the COVID-19 pandemic. These basic societal issues are not addressed by Meta's concentration on growing into the metaverse, a mostly untested and speculative technology. The rebrand runs the risk of coming across as a flimsy attempt to update Meta's image without addressing the serious underlying issues unless it takes proactive measures to address these concerns, such as strengthening user privacy protections, improving content moderation, and addressing the wider societal impact of its platforms. In other words, although the name change might offer a fresh perspective, it doesn't address the company's fundamental issues, and until those issues are addressed head-on, the rebrand will probably be viewed as little more than a marketing gimmick. Number 1. Public perception of Meta, formerly Facebook, is fractured. Since the firm's reputation has been severely tarnished by a number of high-profile scandals and ongoing problems, the rebranding from Facebook to Meta does little to change how the public views the corporation. Facebook's reputation suffered greatly as a result of the Cambridge Analytica incident, which exposed severe privacy and data security issues and involved the unauthorized use of millions of users' data. Facebook has also come under fire for facilitating the dissemination of damaging content, such as false information, fake news, and extremist speech, which has had practical repercussions in fields including public health and political polarization. Trust has been further damaged by the company's uneven response to hate speech and its inability to sufficiently filter offensive material. In this case, a new name cannot repair the harm done to the company's reputation or undo years of bad press. Users can interpret the corporation's rebranding to Meta as an effort to avoid responsibility, as it distances the company from its previous errors rather than face them head-on. Users who believe the name change is a flimsy, evasive tactic rather than a sincere attempt to solve the issues with Facebook's business practices and social impact, may become even more alienated as a result. Thanks for watching and subscribe the channel.